Okay, your teacher will have just notified you about an upcoming assessment, which is going to cover the urban geography topic and part of the climate change topic. So please pay attention to the instructions that are given in this very short tutorial on what you are looking to prepare in order to be able to answer any possible question that you are going to see in the upcoming assessment. And the first area to go to is the checklist, which I am showing you on the screen. Now, on this checklist, when you open it up from the Google Classroom, you want to first of all navigate to the tab titled Paper 1 Human Environments. And there you will see the 4 main focuses that encompass urban geography. So these could be the impacts of housing issues in a developed or a developing world city. So that would be London or Mumbai. And then explaining and evaluating methods used to manage these housing issues in either London or Mumbai. We then have the focus on traffic, so it could be to explain the impacts and the need for traffic management in a developed or developing world city. So once again, you need to know your knowledge on Mumbai and London. And then the fourth learning outcome is to do the same, this time to explain and evaluate those management strategies used to manage transport problems in both developed, which is London, and Mumbai, developing world city. And you've got this small little checklist here that you can use to just see whether you've been revising each of the key points. The other focus of the assessment is going to pick up on another element in the climate change topic, this time looking at the effects of global climate change on people and the environment. And that could be with either a local focus, that would be a UK-based impact, or a global focus, or it could be a combination of both. But you really need to know your examples and case studies to answer those questions. Okay, so where can you go to revise for this? Well, the first thing to use is your class notes. Which might be a master note set in the case of urban geography if you've indeed completed it. And in the case of climate change, you might still be in the middle of that topic, so you'd want to find the assignments that were focused on the effects or consequences, which is the same as effects for climate change. Next thing you can use is the Higher Geography Revision website. So there's a couple of places you can have a look. First of all, because you are doing both a paper 1 and a paper 2 topic, you will find in here the key section on urban geography, which is there, and there's resources in there that you can use. Likewise, if we just go back to the homepage, you might indeed want to look at the global issues material on climate change. So you will find that here, and there it is there. So if you click on that button, it will take you to some resources. Back on the front homepage, there are some other useful links. You could watch the Royal Scottish Geographical Chalk Talks, and that's a link to that site, which will give you access to a video on both urban and a video on climate change. And there's a range of videos in that site that cover the entire higher course. You might even want to have a look at some past papers to help you revise. Now, finally, what I would suggest you do is you also get your question papers book, and I'm just going to give you some pages to look at, and I suggest you note these down. So for urban geography, at the bottom of page 8, you'll see the main focuses for the topic, and on page 9, you'll find 3 key exam questions that you can have a look at and practice, and there's some really good top tips there. You'll also find answers to those questions a little bit further on in the booklet, starting on pages 24 onwards. Another place you can look for urban geography is you can actually have a little practice of the urban question on the practice paper A, which is found on page 34, question 9. You'll see that there are 2 urban focused questions there. And if we just have a little look further on, practice paper B on page 48, you'll find some further practice questions, both question 11 as well as question 12 have an urban geography focus, as in they are examples of good questions. And you can also have a look at the global issues topic, where they also have practice questions that you can have a little look at, and I'll just show you where they are But the one I would suggest you maybe have a look at is found just turning back on page 15. And on page 15 at the bottom, question 6, this is looking at a question with a focus on the effects of global climate change. And you'll find a model answer for that on pages, after pages 27 onwards. So the answers to that particular question you can look up there. So that is the questions paper that you can use. You can also look at your How to Pass, find the relevant sections on urban geography in this How to Pass book, as well as global issues, and read through them. And that should all of that should provide you with resources to revise. I do suggest, as you are revising these two topics, well, certainly the whole of urban geography and a little bit on climate change, that you build up your own revision notes, which will be helpful for when you get to your prelims after Christmas.